PNG joins other Pacific countries to protect waters in the exclusive economic zone. Christian network raises funds to bring about change and influence. And Aussie Crocks take out the FIBA Oceania Under 15 men's title.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Sunday's news. Papua New Guinea will join an innovative bid by 8 Pacific countries to protect waters in their 200-mile exclusive economic zone before land is lost as a result of climate change. The initiative was discussed by ministers and officials from parties to the Nauru Agreement. Member countries met in Honolulu on Friday in the lead-up to the 15th Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission to discuss a number of issues concerning the fisheries sector.
Tuna caught in the waters of PNG and other members of the PNA is a rich resource, but that resource depends on the waters of 200-mile exclusive economic zones. If islands are lost to the sea, the EEZ will shrink and so will the income it provides. PNA CEO Ludwig Kumoru stated that while climate change may result in member countries losing their land, the PNA's goal is to ensure that they don't lose their exclusive economic zones. Mr. Komaru said the bid to secure the boundaries of PNA countries' EEZs is one of the most important priorities in the PNA's 5-year strategic plan, which was approved by ministers here in Honolulu. Next week, PNG and other Pacific countries will attend the Tuna Commission, which includes powerful distant water fishing nations such as China, Japan, and Taiwan. From Minister Basa, the PNA meeting before next week's WCPFC is important for building the solidarity needed to protect Pacific interests.
In PNA being together like this before the WCPFC meetings, it's like we like to maintain our basic principles to ensure that our decisions are reached, in WPFC. They have to acknowledge by the big countries that yes, we own 50% of resources, fisheries resources in our ocean. So they have to acknowledge that, and that's one of the main points why we stand together as one. And also, it does not pose disproportional burden to our small island countries. So the decisions that we make, it must not, go against our decisions, our wishes for our people. So we protect our interests. That's why PNA, we have to stand together as one. So therefore, we budget together, we share our burdens together, and we go to the big meetings like WCPFC.
Lian Jarari, National EMTV News, Honolulu.
The PNG Tertiary Students Christian Fellowship Graduates Network last night hosted their final dinner of the year and announced the establishment of a new real estate company. The new business will help raise funds to empower the mission and vision of the network, and that is to influence the government and bring about positive change based on Christian principles.
The PNG TSCF Graduates Network Inc. is a registered association of like-minded Christian professionals who are passionate to see positive change in the government. The network was launched in 2013 and has members from all over the country.
The vision is to positively influence Papua New Guinea and beyond through an effective Christian professional network. Our mission is to inspire, connect, inspire and empower its members spiritually, financially, and in all areas to bring positive change in Papua New Guinea.
In the midst of corruption in the country, it is necessary to have such network of Christian professionals to help fight corruption and bring about change. Speaking at the dinner, senior graduate John Toguata said this Christian network must be used to help build the nation.
This nation still needs you. They're looking for somebody and some lady and some gentleman whom they can trust. And with your expertise and with your giftings, ground yourself in the Word of God so that you can be able to stand the wind and everything that will come your way.
The network also made an announcement of the new real estate company established by the network. The Triumph Real Estate Limited will help generate revenue to fund and empower the work of the network.
We tried to start up the company, and we did it thinking through a couple of months ago. We started Triumph Real Estate. The hope one day will be that it will be the primary. It will be top #1 real estate in this country. And it will be owned not by one man. It will not be owned by one person, but it will be owned by you. It will be owned by TSF Righteous Network.
Inspirational speaker Tiriku Imbakul urged the members of the network to be agents of change and be a person of significance in the nation.
And one of the ways that we can be different in this nation is to look within ourselves at what God has given us individually, but also as a nation. Because it's only when we see what we are made of that we will become the people that we were supposed to be.
Rayon Lakingu, National EMTV News.
The new chairman of the New Guinea board, Secostas Constantino, has a plan and vision to make New Guinea the best airline in the country. Since his appointment in June this year, Secostas has visited several New Guinea ports and sales offices outside the capital, emphasizing to staff 3 core messages, including taking care of customers, staff, and the communities in which the airline operates. Recently, Secostas was in Mount Hagen, Western Highlands Province, where he reiterated to staff that his board is serious about improving service and experience for the travelling public. According to staff, it is encouraging to see the chairman visiting them and hear directly what improvements and challenges they are faced with at the outposts. Secostas was impressed with the extensive renovation and improvements made to the Mount Hagen sales office, as well as new staff uniforms. Upgraded facilities at the Lae Metropolitan Command will hopefully improve operations in the Juvenile Sexual Offence Squad section and cell management, especially with the professionalism of police officers. Lae Metropolitan Commander Anthony Wagambi said an improved working environment will contribute to better policing. The upgrade of the facilities were funded by the Australian government.
The same kind of
Assistant Commissioner Police for Northern Region Peter Guinness said with these improvements, police officers in these sections must perform effectively.
So I would like to see that all those members attached to the cell management and the custody, people will have to change their mindset, their approach and their behavior towards talking to prisoners, changing their mindset into becoming good citizens.
The keys of the upgraded offices and cells in Lae Central Police Station were officially handed over by the Australian Federal Police on Friday. After a short ceremony, the offices were opened. This is the Sexual Offence Squad office and this is the Juvenile Sections office. Both office spaces are bigger than previous offices, with more space to cater for the members, victims, suspects and also guardians.
And it's a friendly office that children will feel relaxed, and when we talk to them about what they have done wrong, they openly talk to us, and it will improve us more.
This is the renovated police cell. These are the juvenile holding cells, one for males and the other for females. Lae's Metropolitan Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. said the improved facilities will contribute to better policing and the rehabilitation of victims and suspects.
When you work in an environment which is conducive, which is a nice, well-kept building, it will change the attitude of those people working within that building. They'll dress up better, they'll conduct themselves more professionally, and then that will, for policing, that will benefit the community at the end of the day.
ACP Guinness said at the moment, other police stations and posts within the Northern Division lack such facilities.
I think we have lacked that in very long time. So if that can be also extended and spread out to the Northern Command, it will be very encouraging.
Lucy Kopana, National EMTV News, Lae.
You're with National EMTV News this Sunday. We go for a quick break and be back with more after these messages. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. The National Youth Convention for Catholic Youths was officially opened yesterday at the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Vunapope, Kokopo. The theme for the convention, Call to the Fullness of Love and Life. 260 youth representing all the dioceses in the country gathered to participate at this time of prayer, reflection and growth in prayer. The program included a welcome ceremony, a flag parade of different provinces that attended, song and dance by the host province, and a youth attending a session to pledge to live pure until marriage. The convention has been organized by the National Youth Convention Committee. It will end on Thursday, the 12th of December, with a Thanksgiving Mass. Many women are diagnosed with breast cancer each year. Now, a drug trial in Australia is giving hope to many after results showing promising results. The majority of the advanced breast cancer patients in the trial group saw their tumor shrinked or stabilized.
Since undergoing a new drug treatment for breast cancer, 62-year-old Julie Bolsh's 10-centimetre tumour has virtually vanished.
It came down within, say, 4 months, gradually, and then a few months later it sort of disappeared.
Her cancer has shrunk, and at the moment it's almost undetectable.
In a world first, Australian researchers combined the leukaemia drug venetoclax with conventional breast cancer drug tamoxifen. 42 women with advanced breast cancer were given the new combination drug treatment. An astounding 75% saw their tumours shrink or stabilise for at least 6 months.
We are very excited about these findings because they do offer hope.
Unlike many other cancer treatments, this drug combination is non-invasive. Patients simply take the medication in pill form each day.
If there's no surgery involved, then I'll do it.
Members of the Australian research team are now in the United States presenting the study results to an international audience. But the promising medication combination requires more analysis before it can be more widely prescribed.
I just take a day at a time, and hopefully they'll come up with something else that will cure it for everyone.
Paris is cleaning up once again after violent protests overnight. 8,000 yellow vest demonstrators, upset at the cost of living and the president's reforms, took to the streets of the French capital for the 4th weekend in a row.
The city of love resembling anything but. Military vehicles, burning cars and mayhem, an all too familiar sight in Paris in recent weeks, as are clashes with police. Tear gas again today filling the picturesque boulevards, along with water cannon and riot police.
We were really scared about it.
The day started calmly on the Champs-Élysées with grassroots yellow vests protesting the growing cost of living.
We're struggling. We are struggling.
One word heard over and over again.
Revolution.
The movement that started as a result of rising fuel taxes now morphing into widespread dissatisfaction with President Macron.
What we're hearing is people chanting, calling their president Emmanuel Macron the president of the rich, saying he's favouring the rich, and that elitist tag is going to be difficult to shake off.
It's enough, okay? We're going to put this president out. We want to do the government out as well, and we're just going to flip over the system. It's finished. It's finished.
Within hours, the intensity had ramped up a level with people police say have hijacked the cause pouring onto the streets.
It's terrible. It's terrible. The violence is terrible.
In places, barricades designed to protect buildings were pulled down, used as shields as items were hurled at police. But this weekend, the authorities were better prepared, surrounding the Arc de Triomphe, the scene of so much destruction a week ago, and using stronger tear gas. Police say they seized potential weapons and also stopped many troublemakers before they even reached the city centre.
We've changed the tactics so there will be more checks and more immediate interventions.
And it appears to have lessened the chaos.
Things have calmed down for now, and it doesn't appear as though things were as bad as last weekend, but there's still that lingering smell of tear gas and signs of obvious destruction.
That destruction continued into the night in places.
We will never stop. We will never stop.
Just how to stop the violence, though, the big question going forward.
A concert goer who survived a stampede at a nightclub in Italy has captured the moment the panic turned deadly. 6 people were killed in the incident and more than 50 injured.
Australian police reviewing this bystander's footage. Watch as this railing begins to break, and then chaos as the structure gives way completely, dozens falling on top of each other. It happened just outside a nightclub in central Italy, as hundreds of people left the venue after a stampede inside. Local police say 5 minors and 1 mother were killed, crushed in the chaos. Dozens injured. The crowd filled with mostly teens on hand to watch a popular Italian rapper. They were falling and trampling over each other, also having a hard time breathing, this young man said. Tonight, police investigating claims that someone in the crowd used an irritant spray, triggering the stampede.
Here with the news this Sunday, we go for another break and continue with stories overseas when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. China has taken on the space race by launching a mission to the far side of the moon. It's the side that's not facing the Earth.
The Long March 3B rocket blasted off from Xichang in the first mission ever to land a robotic craft on the side of the moon which never faces Earth. Next month, a rover will touch down in the Von Karman crater with potato seeds for a biological experiment to see how they're affected by the lunar environment. And for the first time, we've heard what it sounds like on Mars. NASA's InSight lander, which touched down on the planet 2 weeks ago, has captured audio of Martian winds. The wind speed about 50 kilometres per hour.
Nominees for music's biggest night have been announced. This year, the Grammys have a renewed focus on diversity. The award show has expanded its former key categories to include 8 nominees instead of 5. And to take us to sports, for millions around the world, football is considered a beautiful game and a great unifier of communities. In Darwin this weekend, dozens of people from around the world played in the 6th annual Refugee World Cup.
Diversity and unity celebrated at Darwin's Refugee World Cup.
I'm proud to be a refugee. Everybody else is playing this sport right now. Very proud to be a refugee.
Dozens of refugees now living in the top end took to the pitch last night, unified by their love of football.
Instead of being out there fighting, doing stuff, we're actually connected.
Teams made up of Zimbabweans, Koreans, Congolese and South American refugees battled it out on the pitch and shared stories of their journey.
It's good that we can express, where our cultures are from, and you can, communicate with others, find out where they're from and all that.
Many new Australians took the day as a chance to make friends in their newfound home.
It's good to be around lots of different people and just engaging with everyone, so yeah, it's been a fun day.
The competition is organised by the not-for-profit Football Without Borders. Now in its 6th year, the Refugee World Cup is growing in popularity.
We found that we can use football as a tool to bring people together from different customs and backgrounds, especially refugees or people who have just come to Darwin.
By night's end, the Black Panthers won the female competition, while the Indigenous team, the NT Wawas, took out the men's top prize. But winning isn't everything. At the Darwin Refugee World Cup, it's all about mateship and a love of the world game.
You're watching National EMTV News this Sunday. We go for a break, and when we come back, some sporting updates in Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. We begin with rugby union. Sports is a cross-cutting activity that does not discriminate race, gender and ability, as long as you can play or you have the opportunity to showcase your capabilities. The Rookie Sevens concept has long been an avenue to spot emerging talent. Yesterday, 2 teams of hearing-impaired men took to the field with an entertaining match that could see the rise of deaf rugby in PNG and onward onto the international scene.
When they ran onto the field, no one knew they were hearing impaired, commonly referred to as being deaf.
The announcement of the exhibition match and the details of it was made during the match. It was something new for both the spectators and the players. The players had always the will to play rugby union like any other interested person in the sporting code, and their dream was realized yesterday at the Bava Park as they played in front of a crowd of supporters. For the crowd, watching deaf people playing was not your usual serving of Saturday rugby union. To cheer was unnoticeable by the players. The crowd instead told to wave their hands in support so that the players could see their appreciation.
Thank you. They wanted to play the game of rugby, and so we agreed. We made a deal. They told me, look, we'll teach you sign language, and you teach us rugby, and that's what we did. We've been doing this for a month, and with these rookies, we wanted to showcase what they can offer.
It was quiet on the field, both teams hearing impaired, using their hands to talk and their eyes to listen. That's right, sign language, and they knew the hand signals. And the game flowed just like how they practiced. Not a word uttered by the players, even the referee had to brush up on his hand signals. Always done during the course of the game, but most often taken for granted by the normal players. The signals were key for the deaf players.
And also want them to enjoy what other people are enjoying in the game of rugby. And so this is the first stage for them.
The Rookie Sevens tournament gave the deaf community an equal chance to be part of the sport of rugby union. And the tournament coordinator Silosi Druma was all smiles at the exhibition match on Saturday.
There's a big plan for them. To be affiliated to PNGRFU as well. Hopefully they can get all the paperwork.
The players are a part of a huge deaf community. In Australia in April 2018 saw the World Rugby Sevens Deaf Competition, and there is a 15th International Deaf Competition as well, and Druma says this exhibition match was the stepping stone for the future of deaf rugby union in Papua New Guinea.
They have an Oceania tournament as well, so they can attend there, and there's a World Cup as well. So, you know, this is the beginning for them. This is where women's rugby was started as well, from the Rookie Sevens, and we are seeing the deaf rugby community here, and it's really happy. I'm really happy that they show some good rugby skills, and hopefully they can bring more of their community to come in and play the game of rugby.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV Sports.
Locals around the township of Tabobil in the Western Province have been given the go-ahead to utilize sporting facilities set up by the Oktedi mine. The only problem is some of the facilities need upgrading work. Godwin Eki with the details.
Since laying off workers in 2014, the sporting facilities at mine site were not utilized fully by staff. Now authorities are allowing locals near the mine site to use the facilities, but some work needs to be done to fix some of them. The indoor sporting facilities like the gymnasium, basketball courts and boxing ring needs some touch-ups, while the shower facilities need a complete makeover.
I think all Boklo using planting. People all in some plan games where maybe all prepared earlier, maybe no server. Oktedi put them all fields. I mean, maybe one Boklo go inside now. On this land soccer camp, this land rugby, tennis ball, basketball, golf. So at least maybe now locals Boklo go inside long. So no blood picking the Boklo come on. Good lot players. Me looking at them all Boklo inside. So every weekend. They got all season games, maybe all Boklo play there. At me looking good lot players staff inside there, all can play out. So it's good la quarters, all good la finance, only look at them good there, and all can go out countries, and good lot players all staff there.
No one was on the golf course today, but Philip tells me there are about 100 members actively taking part in golf.
Tawil Golf Club, I've been 2014-15 have been round down, so maybe we'll start cleaning him up, spending little coins on the make now maybe come up on the 9 holes. 9 holes now. I think we got 200 plus all members on the start. So now all competition games maybe we'll try to put him go inside by next year. At least maybe got all. One or contractors or all local player or like interest to play, all can come play.
The golf clubhouse here was burnt down due to an electrical fault and has not been renovated since. However, members are using the social area for their meet and greet.
Building all call him a country club. This all black club this stuff, I mean the electrical problem on him, this building empire. So only rouse him all this la cook all something only rouse him. Now maybe use him field as all long, play and use him this la no black club, country club.
While there may be talent that can be identified in Western Province, a lack of facilities here and throughout the province is a result of poor performance by the province in national tournaments. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Newly elected PNG Football Association President John Capinato recently commented at the Eastern Papua Carnival Soccer Tournament on the situation of football associations in the country. As elected president of PNG-FA, he has vowed to ensure the growth of soccer reaches the rural population, and PNG-FA has a clean record of acquitting FIFA funding in the country.
Some faithful soccer followers may still remember the split in the Papua New Guinea Football Association in 2016. Back then, John Capinato had stepped down as vice president of the PNG-FA and wanted to stand for presidency against the then PNG-FA president David Chung. That didn't turn out as planned. Despite having the numbers to win the presidency, John Capinato had his soccer association and 7 other associations suspended for various reasons, some for late acquittals and management of their associations. But since the split, an 80-page letter by John Capinato sent to FIFA has brought in a resolve, and with the stepping down of David Chung as president of the PNG-FA, John Capinato was recently voted in as the new PNG-FA president.
I did an 80 pages documentation to FIFA. It went to FIFA, and just this year in June FIFA came in and put a MOU so that we football can come together and throw our differences aside and make football go forward.
Capinato says he will try his best as the PNG-FA president to ensure that soccer reaches the masses in Papua New Guinea right down to the rural population.
Our football has a lot of problems. Don't think that I'm a happy man when I go into this job. I've worked for the last 3 weeks in doing organizational structures. Football has not gone down to our people all over the country. We've been always focusing on our own personal need and not worrying about people.
He has also vowed to help clean up PNG-FA of any corruption and has confirmed that the international governing body of soccer, FIFA, will be sending a representative to check on the progress.
FIFA has come on very hard on PNG-FA. That the governance issue and compliance issue is a very big problem in PNG-FA. Therefore, I've been given a very big task of fixing the governance issue and compliance issue in FIFA. Next year in February, FIFA are traveling here to go into PNG-FA because there's a lot of problems.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV Sports.
The football overseas and the Wellington Phoenix tossed up a surprise result last night, stunning defending Premier Sydney FC in a dominant away victory. The Phoenix put on one of its best A-League performances to date. We'll go for a quick break and be back with more of Trukai Sports after these messages. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To basketball now. It was a nail-biter in the Under-15 FIBA Oceania Men's Championship when Australia took on New Zealand in the fight for gold. Australia looking much the stronger side, soaring over New Zealand with a final scoreline of 61 points to 58. Still on the tournament, the Under-15 Samoan girls team gave a 39-point scoreline to win over Fiji, 80 points to 41 to claim bronze. At half-time, Samoa led 47-19. However, in the second and third quarter, Fiji made a slow comeback, crawling up with a scoreline of 33 to Samoa 63. The Fijian girls played great, but it was the Samoans who finally took out the match. The Under-15 FIBA Oceania Championship in the girls division, in the order of their finishing: Australia in first place, followed by New Zealand, Samoa, Fiji and PNG finishing fifth. To basketball overseas, the New Zealand Breakers have returned home with their international duties over. They were on a 4-game losing streak when they hosted title contenders, the Sydney Kings.
Putting the pedal to the metal and gets the bucket.
Looking for their first win since round 5, the Breakers started the game with purpose.
Caps off a superb quarter.
Closing out the first quarter, 23-20, Sydney's star player Andrew Bogut made his presence felt in the second. The 2.13 metre former NBA player having an impact at both ends of the court.
Here's Webster. Oh wow, swatted away by Andrew Bogut, the league leader.
Tom Abercrombie refinding his rhythm while on Tall Black's duty, bringing it to the floor today, helping the Breakers to stay in touch, 35-all at half-time. But what happened in the third can only be described as a capitulation.
Weasley giving it up to Long. 13's the lead. Webster for 3. That's no good. Here comes Corey Webster trying to get around kicking. Oh, Andrew Bogut on the help.
Man of the match Bogut owning the court, supported by his teammates, outscoring the home side 21-6, the Breakers' second lowest quarter score in history. They look gone for all money, but backup point guard and the Breakers' highest scorer, Jared Weeks, was up for the challenge.
Jared Weeks' game is
giving his team a chance, but their final quarter flurry came too late.
Knocks down the 3. Weeks, oh why not? Get it up, Tommy.
Yeah, definitely a good comeback, but we only scored 6 points in the third quarter, and that's where we lost the game, not down the stretch.
71-70 to Sydney. The Breakers left to rue an inconsistent performance.
And finally to cricket, the Black Caps have returned to New Zealand as history makers, ready to take on their home summer of cricket.
Ajaz Patel has come back to New Zealand as a newfound hero, and the Black Caps spinning star is ready for the home celebrations.
I'd imagine everyone will be coming back to my place, and there'll be a big afternoon feast or dinner or something planned.
As far as away Test series victories go, they don't come often. This, the first over Pakistan since 1969.
Everyone's a bit excited because we won our game.
Will Somerville, another spinning sensation, unveiled on the world stage. Both the 34-year-old and Patel pulling off incredible Test figures on debut to help secure Kiwi history.
I was just trying to play first-class cricket. It was hard enough for me, so to play test cricket and do well is wonderful, and hopefully I get some more opportunities in the future.
But the celebrations will be short-lived. Their first of 2 tests against Sri Lanka is less than a week away, and there's only one spinning spot up for grabs.
You look at the likes of Mitch Sattner and Todd Astle, who are both out as well, and then we've had 3 spinners on this tour with Ish, Ajaz and Will, so I mean it's a good place to be in, and yeah, it's not easy, but there will be one that will be selected.
And just who will be that one selected will be announced tomorrow, along with the Black Caps Test squad.
We're still trying to pick our best team, and the competition's healthy.
Once I get a bit more experience, I feel a bit more confident in that environment, then I can really bring out a few other tricks.
The more these guys push each other, the better chance to see those tricks and an unforgettable summer of cricket.
And that's it for Trukai Sports. We'll go for another break. When we come back, we'll take a quick look at the weather. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
A look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. We begin in the southern region, partly cloudy for Port Moresby with a top of 34 degrees and mostly fine for Daru and Olata. Afternoon showers expected in Kerma with a top of 32 degrees, 31 degrees and showers and thunderstorms expected in Popondetta. To the Momase region, mostly fine in Lae and Wewak, showers expected in Wau and Madang, 32 degrees and a shower or 2 expected in Vanimo. To the New Guinea Islands region, mostly fine and a top of 32 degrees for Lorengau, 31 degrees and mostly fine for Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka, partly cloudy with a top of 31 degrees for Kimbe. And in the Highlands region, Showers with early morning fog developing for Mount Hagen with a top of 25 degrees, 26 degrees, and showers and cloudy weather over the next 24 hours for Goroka and Kundiawa. Showers and cloudy weather over the next 24 hours for Mendi and Wabeg with a top of 25 degrees. Now look at the forecast for small ships. There is a renewal of a strong wind warning for all coastal waters. Strong southeasterly winds of 25 to 34 knots are expected to continue for the next 24 hours, causing rough seas. All small craft and boats are advised to take the necessary precautions before and after going out to sea.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's a news, sport and weather for today, Sunday the 9th of December 2018. On behalf of the EMTV News team right around the country, have a safe working week. Good night.